Hey everybody, welcome back to the False Prophet channel. And this is Brother Jacob, and this is the False Prophet channel where we get Islam busted and the false prophet of Islam, Muhammad, busted on a regular basis. Now, today I was afforded the opportunity to call in to Rob Christian's broadcast that he has here on YouTube. And for those who don't know, Rob Christian is one of my favorite YouTube polemicists and apologists when it comes to the subject matter of Islam. He does a very thorough job of analytically breaking down Islam. And one thing I like about him, he always comes with the resources to back up everything that he says. He's very factual. He doesn't use opinions. He goes straight to the source. And today I called into his show, and the subject matter of his show was, what do women receive in Jannah? It was a very good show. It lasted over 3 hours. And I called in because he opens up the line sometimes for Christians to call in. He lets Muslims call in. But a lot of times the Muslims, they chicken out. And like always, I saw the opportunity and I said to myself, let me call in because I got something very good that I want to share. Now, one thing about me, I don't ever call Rob Christian and present something that's off topic. So as soon as someone had called in and gave me an inclination, or they dropped a keyword that aligned with what I had to say, I said, let me seize this moment and let me call in and say what I have to say. Now, we're going to start at the moment when yours truly, Brother Jacob, called into the Rob Christian show. So without further ado, let's hit play.
Thank you. Bye. You too. Bye-bye. God bless. There are so many callers, guys. Let's see if we can take... Is there a Muslim who wants to debate me about today's topics? Come on, man. The Bible is not the topic of today, Muslims. If you want to defend Islam, you want to defend the topics that we mentioned today, be my guest. I will not allow you to change topic. Hey, Brother Jacob. Welcome.
Hey, Brother Rob, it's good to hear from you. And
hey, my friend.
I have two things to say, and I want to stay around the subject. First, the subject matter is about what do women get in Jannah. Now, I want to ask you a question, Brother Rob. Mm-hmm. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Muhammad did say that he would be the first one to enter into paradise. But that's a contradiction because if in Jannah they're going to have like these houris and these little boy servants, isn't that a contradiction? Because when do they enter Jannah?
Well, they Muslims will say Allah created them in Jannah. But since you brought it up, remember the hadith that you had with that idiot by the name Muslim cheerleader, Muslim warrior, right, about right. And I mentioned this. I'm not sure if it was you or maybe it was. No, I remember it was Rashad Khalifa boy, ultimate fart. He and Muslim cheerleader, they were attacking one another because remember, ultimate fart is a rejecter of hadith. He is Quran alone Muslim, right? He is a Rashad Khalifa, Quran alone Muslim. On the other hand, Muslim cheerleader, Muslim warrior, he is a Sunni Muslim, Salafi Sunni Muslim. Remember that hadith about Bilal and Muhammad? Do you remember it?
Right.
let's see if I can find it. Let's see. Okay, here. I already found it. Look. Look what it says. Let me read it. Narrated Abu Buraida. The Messenger of Allah awoke in the morning and called for Bilal. And then said, O Bilal, by what have you preceded me to paradise? I have not entered paradise at all, except that I heard what? I have not entered paradise at all, Muhammad saying, except that I heard your footsteps before me. The footsteps of who? Bilal, the black slave. So who enters Jannah before Muhammad? Bilal. This is what? This is Hasan Hadith. Do you see it? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is also in Sahih al-Bukhari. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, but even still, if they say that Allah creates the houris and the boy servants in Jannah, isn't that still a contradiction? Because there's another hadith where Muhammad says that Allah said that if you would not sin, he will wipe you out of existence. Mm-hmm. So if Allah is so concerned about people sinning, and he will wipe you out of sin if you didn't, he will wipe you out of existence if you didn't sin, why would he create people in Jannah who didn't sin? If he said that, you know the hadith where he says that if you didn't commit sin, he will wipe you out of existence.
Yes.
So that's a contradiction, because Muslims will say that those 50,000 servants that each Muslim in Jannah is supposed to receive, they will say that those boys are Muslims. But if they are Muslims, that means the hadith that Muhammad speaks, it applies to all of Muslims. And if it doesn't, then they can't say that those little boys in Jannah are Muslims. Yeah. So if Allah said that he would wipe you out of existence if you didn't sin, isn't that a contradiction? Because
of course.
Because how can he?
Of course, it's a contradiction. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? How can he create 50,000 boys and houris? And isn't that like an injustice when you think about it, Brother Rob? Because
of course,
when you think about it, what did these little boys do to deserve skipping the trial? Like Muslims say, life is a test. So if these little boys are Muslims as well, what did they do to deserve skipping the test of living this earthly life and going through trials and tribulations? If they are Muslims as well, how did they just skip over all of that and just automatically in Jannah? And if they are automatically in Jannah, and if they are Muslims, then why don't they get the same privilege of having boy servants as well? You get what I'm saying? It's kind of lopsided, because if these houris and these little boy servants are also Muslims, why don't they get the same privilege of receiving some servants just like the other Muslims?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's so lopsided and contradictory.
Well, where do you see any justice if Allah, and we mentioned the hadith before, if Allah, I put a many, this one. How is it justice when, if you go to the Quran, you will read that no one can bear the sins of another, right? The Quran says, and here Muhammad contradicts his own Quran. According to the Quran, no one can bear the sins of anyone. And Muslims always ask us, you Christians say Jesus died for your sins. How can someone bear your sin? Well, according to your prophet, here, on the day of resurrection, Allah will deliver to every Muslim, a Jew or a Christian, say, this is your ransom from hellfire. And it continues saying, another narration is, Muhammad said, there would come people amongst the Muslims, so these are Muslims, on the day of resurrection with sins as heavy as mountain. and Allah would forgive them by putting those sins on the shoulders of the Jews and the Christians. Did you catch it? So where is the justice? Talking about justice, where's the justice? And remember, there's another ayah in the Quran. We didn't mention that today. There's an ayah in the Quran. Allah is saying in the Quran, if you kill a slave, I am allowed to kill your slave. Wait a second. Where's the justice in that? I kill your slave, you kill my slave? What did that slave do to be killed? Did you catch it? Where's the justice in that? So there is no justice in Islam, my friend. You know, when Muslims love to talk about justice, they are the last ones to speak about justice. All right?
And Brother Rob, can you pull up Surah 1661? And I want that
16 or 60?
1661. And okay. I wonder, is that Muslim girl still in the chat who called in earlier? Because I want her to hear what I'm about to say.
They don't care. They don't care about the Quran. They don't care about their prophet, my friend. They only care.
Now here goes the good part. Now he's about to pull up Surah 1661. I want everybody to take note of this polemic argument that I'm about to bring up. And it's not even an argument, it's a fact that I'm about to, that he's about to pull up and show everybody. And the clip will show me explaining it. So sorry for having to pause right here, but I just had to say that so everybody would know the importance of what you are about to see.
About attacking the Bible. They only care to attack Allah's Bible. That's it. They are not here to defend Islam, my friend. Go ahead.
This is a dead end religion. So can you pull up Surah 1661?
It's on the screen.
All right.
Which translation do you want me to put?
Probably Yusuf Ali.
Okay, let's see. Guys, please, in the live chat, don't allow anyone to distract you. Please stay focused with us. Go ahead.
And could you read it?
Yeah, Surah An-Nahl, chapter 16, ayah 61. If Allah were to punish men for their wrongdoing, He would not leave on the earth a single living creature, but He gives them respite for a state term. When their term expires, they would not be able to delay the punishment for a single hour, just as they would not be able to anticipate it for a single hour. Go ahead.
Okay. Brother Rob, while you reading that verse, and I hope every Muslim that's in the chat is listening, what you just did when you read that verse, you just destroyed Islam.
Exactly.
Here's why. Muslims, listen what that verse says. It says that if Allah would destroy the earth, He would not leave. He would destroy every single living creature. Okay, that means he was revealing this verse to Muhammad.
Yeah.
Muhammad falls under the category of every single living creature.
Brother Jacob, just a second. Guys in the live chat, this ayah that you see on the screen is one of the nuclear bombs on the coffin of Muhammad. Please focus, because Jacob is bringing a nuclear bomb. Watch, continue, brother, sorry. Okay, guys, pay attention.
All right, everybody. The verse that's on the screen, it says that if Allah were to destroy the earth, that He would get rid of every single living creature. Now, you have to keep in mind that the Muslims tell us, according to their narrative, that Jibril revealed these verses to Muhammad.
Exactly.
So Muhammad is listening to this. Okay?
Watch, guys.
Now, it says that Allah would destroy every single living creature. That means no exception.
Exactly.
Now, Muhammad falls under the category of every single living creature. Yes. So in essence,
and according to Islam and Muslims, also Jesus. But did Jesus have any wrongdoing?
And that's another contradiction. But I'm gonna get to that as well.
Did you catch
that's another contradiction in that.
So wait a second. Jesus, according to Islam, he's not touched by Satan. He has no sins. Since Jesus has no wrongdoing, that means Jesus must be God. Right? He's not a creature. He must be God. Did you catch it? Go ahead, my friend.
Now, let me elaborate on what Brother Rob just said. Now, if you see the verse, it says, and I don't want this to sway away from the point that I was making, but he brought that up as well, and that's something that we have to touch on. So we're going to kill two birds with one stone in this video. So as you see, the verse says, if Allah were to punish men for their wrongdoing, he would not leave on the earth a single living creature. So this means that obviously Jesus is God according to Islam, because it says if Allah was to punish men for their wrongdoing, he would not leave on earth a single living creature. So if Jesus was a creature, he would be wiped out for committing a wrongdoing. So that's another way that this verse 1661 gets Islam busted. But let's continue with the main point. Sorry for pausing the video.
Okay, now in that same 1661, why does it say Allah would destroy every single living creature? For their wrongdoings.
Yes.
For their wrongdoing. So he's telling this to Muhammad. So basically, like I said, Muhammad falls under the category of every single living creature. So that means Allah would even destroy Muhammad. So that means even Muhammad was an evildoer and a wrongdoer.
Yes.
Now, that's why Surah 1542 fits Muhammad, and that's why Muhammad was under black magic.
Yes.
If everybody had ever had a question in your mind about if Muhammad was the prophet of Allah, then why was he able to be placed under black magic? Well, 1661 answers that question, because Surah 1542 says that none of the servants of Allah can Satan have any authority over, but he can't have no authority over the true servants of Allah, but only over the ones who follow Satan. So that's why Muhammad was able to be placed under black magic, because his own book condemns him. 1661 condemns him because that's Allah speaking to him. So he is condemned by his own book. And that's why the Bible say they are snared by the words of their own mouth.
Exactly. Bam. Exactly.
So even the Bible, by saying that they are snared by the words of their own mouth, it got the devil busted, just like the Bible said would happen. Yeah. So that even proves that Muhammad is a false prophet.
Exactly. Good job, my friend. Exactly. Yeah. And as we mentioned, since Allah, if he wanted to, as Brother Jacob said, and we are only reading what the Quran is saying, we are not adding. If Allah were to punish so mankind, for their wrongdoing, he would not leave on the earth a single living creature. But wait, this proves that Jesus is not a creature. He is not created, because according to Islam, Jesus is not touched by Satan. Jesus is holy. Jesus is sinless. Jesus did not do any wrongdoings. That means Jesus is like Allah. Jesus is equal with Allah. This proof, chapter 9, ayah 31, why Muhammad in his Quran, in his man-made Quran, calling Allah and Jesus al-Masih lords, gods. Did you catch it?
That's another beautiful point. Yeah, because he's not a creature. And don't they say the same thing about Mary? Mary is sinless as well?
Yeah. Yeah,
so
Mary too. Mary too, of course.
Mary is not a creature. So how can they go against the do the Shia, don't the Shia, do they worship Mary, or is it?
Shia, no, they don't worship Mary. They worship actually the house hold of Muhammad. So basically the family of Muhammad, Hassan, Hussein, Ali, and so on, Fatima.
And I'm gonna say one more thing, then I'll leave. If the verse, another way, if the Muslims try to denounce this verse, they can't, because if the verse would have said Allah would wipe out every single living creature except you, Muhammad, it didn't say that. It said every single living creature. And before I leave, I promise that Muslim warrior, that Muslim cheerleader, I showed him this on his channel, and guess what, Brother Rob? He didn't say nothing.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything.
Yeah, and bro, you need. Let me give you the link in Skype to the hadith that I mentioned about Bilal. Mention this hadith to him and see how he's going to tap dance. The Messenger of Allah awoke the morning and called for Bilal, then said, "Oh Bilal," and actually this is why Quran alone Muslims, people like Rashad Khalifa, people like Ultimate Ford, they call this blasphemy. They say, how can Bilal enter paradise before Muhammad? Watch. So when Muhammad woke in the morning, called for Bilal, he's asking for Bilal, then Muhammad said, "Oh Bilal, the black slave, by what have you preceded me to paradise? I have not entered paradise at all, except that I heard your first footsteps before me. I entered paradise last night, and I heard your footsteps before me." Watch how, and all the Sunnis are going to tap dance.
And Brother Rob,
yes,
you know that hadith that says, if people didn't sin, Allah would wipe out everybody on the earth.
Yeah.
Okay, when you read 1661, it says that Allah would wipe out everybody for sinning. So it bumps heads with each other, and that shows that Muhammad was making things up, because in that hadith it says that if you did not sin, Allah would wipe you out of existence and replace you with a people who would sin. But in 1661 it says that if you would sin, Allah will wipe you out of existence. So it's like you in Islam, you destroyed if you sin, and you destroyed if you don't sin. It doesn't make no sense. But that's the only thing I wanted to say.
Yeah, exactly. It's really damaging. So Allah wants you to sin. It's not only that, Allah wants you to sin. Imagine if you don't sin, Allah is out of a job. Allah will become jobless. Allah will go bankrupt. Can you imagine?
And and it's silly because, and look, if Allah, everything is by the decree of Allah. So why would he wipe somebody out? He said, if you do not sin, I will wipe you out and replace you with a people who do sin. But you are the one who decreed them not to sin. So why would you wipe them out for a decree that you yourself decreed?
Exactly.
Muslims, y'all see how stupid your religion is.
Yeah.
This all Brother Rob doing, this all I'm telling you, that's all Christian Prince be saying. Nobody is mocking your religion. It doesn't make sense.
We are only reading, right, Brother Jacob? I'm not adding. I am reading what your Muslim sources are saying. And you're getting mad at me. You're calling me a liar. And only thing you can do, instead of defend your sources, Muslims, you go change topic, tap dance, and change and attack the Bible. Why are you such gutless, cowardice, so-called followers of Deen al-Haq? You cowardice Muslims. Cowards. Bunch of gutless cowards. That's what you Muslims are. Go ahead, my friend.
Give her, you should, I can't tell you what to do on your show, but give that Muslim woman another chance to call and see what she's going to do. I'm going to hang up and I'm going to listen and enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you for calling. God bless you.
God bless you. Bye.
So as you see, that was my moment on brother Rob Christian's broadcast on his channel. Everybody go to Brother Rob Christian channel, and if you haven't subscribed, go and subscribe to his channel. because of him, I gained a lot of subscribers. He was one of the people that inspired me to start a channel in the first place. So I like to give a big shout out to brother Rob Christian. He's one of the people who, I basically looked up to on this Christian exposing Islam apologetic and polemicist thing. Him and Christian Prince, they the ones who inspired me to start studying for myself. And God, he gave me the gift to be able to spot contradictions in the Quran and the hadiths of the Muslims. And like I said, we don't do this for our ego to build ourselves up. We do it to expose Islam and to bring Muslims out of the darkness. And that's why we do it, to show them the light of Jesus so they might be saved. So they will be saved. We don't say may like the Muslims do. We say we speak by faith. Okay? And that's why I do this channel. And hopefully it doesn't fall upon deaf ears. And I hope everybody got something out of it. But that's what I wanted you to see. Don't forget, Surah 1661. Memorize this argument. Remember everything that we said. And this is how you get Muslims busted. Their own book condemned Muhammad as a prophet of Satan. And then you have to say to yourself, if Allah said that he would wipe out every single living creature, then you have to say to yourself, why did he speak this revelation to Muhammad if Muhammad is one of the people that he would wipe out? Why is he, a righteous God, delivering a message to a sinner to spread his message? So that's letting you know that Allah cannot be of God and that Muhammad is a prophet of Satan. God does not contradict himself, as we showed the contradictions. So all of this just proves one thing, that Muhammad is a prophet of Satan. Allah is Satan. Muhammad is Allah. That's another thing you have to understand. There's no such thing as Allah. Muhammad is Allah. Allah is Muhammad. Muslims say they don't believe in the Trinity. They don't believe in that God can come in the flesh. Well, I beg to differ, because Muhammad is Allah in the flesh. So yes, Muslims do believe that God can come in the flesh because they believe in Muhammad, and Muhammad is Allah. And with that, leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell us what you think. And until we do this again, this is Brother Jacob. Like, share, and subscribe. And this is the False Prophet channel, where we get Islam busted and the false prophet of Islam, Muhammad, busted on a regular basis.